Imagine a world where no secret is safe, no password untouched, and no personal detail actually private. A world where everyone's data, including yours, has been exposed and shattered across the world, and nothing you can do can guarantee your privacy ever again. Can you picture it? Now, this sounds like a dystopian nightmare, right? But it is a reality that is fast approaching. So, what happens when everyone's data is everywhere? This is exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, we already know that data breaches are becoming increasingly common. The Equifax breach, the Target hack, all of these are examples of how easily accessible our data is becoming in the digital landscape. But what if we reach a tipping point where such an accident isn't just a one-off scenario and it's just the norm? In a recent discussion, a lot of users online had talked about a dystopian nightmare where privacy has been completely lost and there is no point of return. Someone also asked, what happens when our society at large loses trust in our current methods of verification? He or she was basically talking about basic things like identity checks, like social security numbers or phone calls to confirm who you are. Well, see, the most immediate concern the future of this person is the lack of trust. If identity verification methods like SSNs are no longer available, what's left? And with AI voice cloning and deepfakes a norm right now, who can we trust? Can we trust phone calls anymore? In such a world, face-to-face interactions may actually become the only trusted method of communication. But what if that's not enough? We might find ourselves in a society where everything we've built around trust, like credit systems, employment, even our social identities, might begin to crumble. Someone also pointed out that people who actually still practice or have a high knack for privacy might be considered outlaws in such a society. Their actions, which could be seen as a defiance of the New World Order, may actually be punished for their actions. Now, this is where things actually get interesting. One person actually introduced the idea of choosers. In a world where data is everywhere, these choosers will have the power to decide which of these people will succeed and which will fail based on the information that they possess. Imagine a system where your entire life, your credit, your work history, even your personal failures could be used against you. These choosers, whether they come from media, finance, or government, will be the ones who choose who is given access to opportunities. They could reward or backball individuals based on their own data-driven agendas. This will therefore create an environment in society where no one could actually progress on their own standards. They will actually be anointed by the right people. Privacy and trust will no longer matter. It will only be about who the choosers believe to be worthy based on their data. The balance of power will therefore shift to a few, creating a permanent divide within us based on who is trusted and who is discarded. Of course, it's not going to be all bleak though. In some countries like Estonia, these digital identity systems are already in place and trusted by a lot. These systems allow people to prove who they are securely and efficiently. However, obviously, not every country is ready for this solution. There's always going to be a risk of abuse, especially in countries with unstable governments or high levels of surveillance. Perhaps the key to such a future or navigating this future isn't about actually returning to privacy, but actually developing systems that have better control. Systems that actually don't rely on centralized power. Some people also suggest that ZKPs or zero knowledge proofs could replace traditional forms of identification, creating a way for people to prove who they really are without actually risking their personal information. But of course, we're still not there yet, and until we figure this out, the potential for exploitation is still pretty high. And let's not forget the chaos that would entail when personal data is no longer considered private or a private commodity. False information about people could be easily manipulated and traded. Your data, whether good, bad, or downright embarrassing, could be used to manipulate your reputation and even perhaps ruin your life. One of our team members actually pointed out that in this new ecosystem, social media influencers, politicians, everyday people, all of these will find themselves caught in a web of misinterpretations, campaign smears, and strategic data manipulation. So, what really happens when everyone's data is breached and we can no longer trust anything we see, hear, or read? Perhaps we're already seeing signs of this in the very future. We can only hope that as our digital lives become more and more integrated, we'll find a way to protect our privacy and ensure that the balance of power doesn't fall into the wrong hands. But for those of you who've never heard of this scenario, what do you think? Are we actually headed towards this future, or are we actually there yet? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to share our video, like, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into tech and society shaping the future. Stay safe and keep questioning everything you see. We'll see you in the next video.